Hey guys, so we are going to do Lisa Marie Presely. I did pick a card for her, which is the Two of Swords, and that means a painful decision that had to be made. And I do feel that could be about her leaving. Okay, right. This is a channeled reading, it won't be cards. I've got all your questions and the information just comes out, so I haven't needed cards this time. So let's go straight into it. Is there fighting going on in the tabloids, as the tabloids suggest, between Priscilla, your mum, and the grandchildren? She said yes, but full disclosure will not be given and they will shut it down in time. This is part of the family healing. There have been a lot of words unsaid over the last 10 years when it comes to the Elvis legacy, and hurt and pain is making these words come out now, so it is healed. So basically, it's needed to heal something within themselves, and this is why the arguments are coming out now. I also heard the word release here too. So it's almost like, yes, there is things that have been held in for a very, very long time. I do feel because of their mum and the issues she was going through, that it's been on their minds for a good few, I'd say maybe 6-7 years now, about what's going to happen if something happens to Lisa, God forbid. What would happen? I keep hearing the word legacy, legacy, legacy. What would happen to the legacy? And I feel it's also a generational thing as well between Priscilla and the granddaughter as well. It's almost like how one would like to see the future of the legacy compared to the other, and they're not seeing eye to eye, and their views are very different, and that's why Priscilla's trying to hold on very tightly to it right now. So definitely there is issues there for sure, but as you know, what's trying to come across with Lisa is pretty much saying it's needed to clear. I hear clear the air, clear the air, clear the air. So this is needed. Next question. Why did you come into this life as Elvis's daughter? Now, it came across she wanted to heal the family. I was very empathic, and that is why I found the earth plane too hard to comprehend and would numb myself with these emotions. I would numb myself and these emotions when it got too much, like many empaths do. Some empaths you see will be without homes. You should not judge, as they struggle with the frequency on earth, and they often have highly developed souls that came here for a special purpose, and they have been knocked off track, and it is hard to guide them when they may be under the influence of drugs or other addiction issues. And then I heard, commas, they cannot hear us. They cannot hear us, okay? So that's what came across there. Next question. How was music important to you? And this is what's come across from this reading, okay? She's saying, it is a way we express love and our true thoughts and feelings. This is why it affects so many. Many can be closed off in their emotions as they are scared of being judged, but a certain song will encompass how they feel. And again, this will almost let them release these emotions rather than having to speak them out loud to a loved one in fear of feeling embarrassed or rejected, okay? So it's almost like that's why a certain song will speak to your heart. Everyone knows there's certain breakup songs. My God, I've gone through breakups in my teen years where I think I went through the whole of school without anyone seeing me cry once in 4 years. That's not a good thing, by the way, guys. And whenever I needed to release anything, I would listen to a really sad song and bawl my eyes out privately, but I wouldn't be the type to speak to people. I was too embarrassed and shy. So it's a release. Again, this whole reading is about releasing pain here, okay? And then she said, I have no idea if this is a reference to some kind of song, guys, but I heard a song. She's saying a song is a cup of love. A cup of love. I have no idea what that means. I'm going to have to do some searching after. I don't know why she said a cup of love. Almost like a chalice, you're giving a cup of love to somebody to drink, nurture them. So it's symbolic, but I do wonder if that's something in a song or somewhere. That's a saying they used to say. Okay, next question. How was music important to you? So she said, as explained above, it helped me to connect to my father. And also, obviously, what she just said about it's how you can release those feelings, okay? But it helped her connect to her father as well. Very simple one-liner, that was it. Okay, next question. How did you work things out with your son on the other side? Now, she said here, he's already studying. He will come back. And I did wonder if this is going to be a religious role. And I heard the word pious here. And I do wonder if it's going to be some kind of spiritual teacher as such that he will come back as. Because again, he was a very highly evolved, intuitive, empathic soul as well, exactly like his mum, that kind of same energy. And she also says here, a lot of souls reincarnating at this time are struggling with the Earth's energies and are not properly prepared for the disconnection they feel. Okay, so it's like, let me go into the next question, guys. That might explain it a little bit better. Okay, so this is the next question. He had to know it broke your heart when he left. Trigger warning here, by the way, guys, because this is a question about suicides. This is a trigger warning. Okay, turn it off if you're in particularly vulnerable. Turn it off. I've been there 3 times myself, been there, okay? But this is a trigger warning, okay? This is the question. Why do you think there is so much suicide and drugs in the world? And I've been there, so I completely get what she means here. Because you get to the stage where you just want out, as it is unbearable to be here another second. Some of us, even though they may be lost to suicide, can pass this way as a soul choice so others can learn from it. It's not always black and white. So some souls may come down and actually say, right, at the age of 17, 18, I choose to leave this life because I want to teach my mum this lesson or my dad this lesson. It's just for example, she's trying to say it's not all black and white. There's grey areas too. Don't always think everything is black and white. And this is the bit where I was getting to. Lots of souls reincarnating at this time are struggling with the Earth's energies and are not properly prepared for the disconnection they feel to source. I have a lot of people that are into tarot reading, mediums, spiritual readings. A lot of people will sense this themselves. I don't know if you do. I've had this as a kid growing up. I always felt lonely and melancholy all the time. I remember looking out the window at the sky for hours. I mean, that's not normal for a kid. I'd go out and play with my brothers. I was sporty, I was active, but there was a sense of loneliness and sadness, and that's because it's because of the disconnection. So I would have thought for sure some of you guys have felt that, like, this is not your home and you want to go back sometimes, you know. I'm not about suicide here, guys. I mean, in general, a lot of people that are extremely empathic kind of know this isn't their home, and they miss what they had before, that love and that support, because Earth is a very harsh environment. Right, next question. What other lives have you had that were influential? Now, I got a lifetime here for women's rights, but before the suffragettes movement, and this is in the US, so it's almost like going back to 1800s, and I do feel she came from a wealthy family, and she would speak out about women's rights. And there's something about her being made to have women's hour where they had to sit and read quietly like a lady with a book in the corner with the other women. She hated it, and she would try to put herself out there more and say, no, I'm not doing this. How come my brothers can do this, or they can go out and play, and I have to do this? And it's all about training her to get married, basically. So that's when she really started to come out about women's rights. But that was guys, this is 1800s. And suffragettes movement, it was before that, and this is in the US. Are you planning to come back? Not decided yet. Maybe it's a guide to her son, but we have a very close energy, so he will be able to sense me no matter what soul plane we are on. So whether she comes back with him or she stays where she is his guide, for example, it makes no difference because they have such a close connection anyway. She can guide him either way, basically. And let's see what else we have here, guys. Next question. Being on the other side of your addiction battle, what have you learned that can be done for addicts that can help? So she says, love is the key, as when you fail and you know you are letting others down, you feel an immense sense of pressure, guilt, and shame to get it right this time. And you know you may have slipped up, okay? But there is a belief in you, and you can try again, and this time it will be successful. So basically what she's trying to say is, it's going to be offered. It's an addiction. It's not like you're just going to never do it again, everything's going to be fine. You're going to slip up, and that's why it's so important to get that love and support. Because if you slip up, like say you slip up 3 times, 20 times, when people lose the belief in them, that's when it really goes downhill, okay? And it's very hard for families to do as well. And this is why she says, This is why the AA, that's an example, use the and sponsors, use partners or sponsors as such to keep an eye on you rather than your family all the time, as they have been there, they get it, they do not judge. And this is why it's so important that others that have lived through this experience can come back and help to guide other people in that situation that they used to be in. Because if it's a mum that's never been in that situation, dealing with a son going through addiction issues, if she's never had that herself, it's going to be painful, traumatic, horrendous. Whereas if the son had somebody that was already an addict, that was 10 years older, that's recovered now, like I said, a sponsor as such, that he can call and say, look, I'm feeling it, I feel the need, I need to do this, I don't know what to do, I can't tell my mum, she's going to lose it, I need help, then he can, I'm hearing they can talk them down. They can talk them down from doing something. And that's why sponsors that are not necessarily a family member are so important here. Right. Last two questions. What did Scientology do to your soul? Now, I did see her on a table with bounds about her. You know, like, I don't want to say a psychiatric facility where she's been bound to the table where she can't move. So I did see an image of that, not able to move, contained. And then one positive thing was that she needed order and structure in her life. So her mum thought, because she was going wild and rebelling, that this would be the best thing for her. So the mum saw it as giving her structure, but she saw it as them trying to break her spirit. I hear break her spirit, and I heard the words contain her spirit. So she felt like they were trying to contain her spirit. So on one side of it, it was to try and give her structure. So her mum went into it believing it would be the best thing for her to do, but she's so strong-willed, they weren't going to break her spirit. This is the last question. Will you, your father, son, reincarnate on Earth again? And with this, all I heard was Elvis is already here in the US, and I thought he's in his late teens, early 20s, so maybe 18 plus to his early 20s here. And I hear normal life, residential normal life. Nothing spectacular or special there, guys, okay? At the moment, I'm getting normal life, and I keep hearing the word residential randomly. So that is it. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will read again soon. Love you all, guys. Bye.